Mohbad's father is in big trouble. He has finally been exposed, and at this point, everyone is suspecting him to know more than he's telling. Some people have even begun accusing him of killing his own son, because right now, everything that this man is doing in the press is only working against him.
So guys, as at the time of making this video, it was reported that Mohbad's body has been exhumed, that is dug out of the grave for autopsy and further investigation. It was said that during the exhumation process, the police kept people at distance so that there would be no distraction and there would be no crowd surrounding them. There were police tapes all around the area before his body was eventually exhumed. This means that this case is only just starting. Like, it's about to get bad. It's about to get better even, because right now, all the answers that we need, all the answers to the questions we've all been asking would be answered. An autopsy would be done. And this is where we would now know what truly happened to Mohbad. Now, there have been claims that people saw blood in the casket after Mohbad's body had been removed, suggesting that he was buried alive. Now, this is just sparking up a controversy, and a lot of people have their opinions. What I can say about it is that usually when someone is deceased, their body still emanates fluid, and that usually mostly happens if the person wasn't embalmed. Now, it's clear that Mohbad wasn't embalmed, because we know he was buried so fast, and embalming takes days, if not weeks, for it to be done. Although it can be done very fast, but for the case of Mohbad, I don't believe, or there's no reason to believe, that he was embalmed, which meant that blood was not drained out of his body, nor was any of his bodily fluid drained out of him. So it is very likely that the reason why there are bodily fluids in the casket after his body was removed was because he wasn't embalmed.
Initially, we all thought and we all agreed that Mohbad was buried too quickly, despite not being Muslim and despite not dying from a very contagious disease. Regardless of the fact that he's a father and a husband, we all thought his burial was too quick and too rushed for such a person, given the circumstances surrounding the controversy of his death. But it turns out that his father actually had plans of burying him earlier than we complained of. Like, we're busy complaining that this guy was buried too quick, whereas there were plans to bury him a lot earlier than he was actually buried. Mohbad died on the 12th of September 2023, somewhere in the evening, where it was announced and it became popular news on the internet. And he was buried the next day, the 13th of September 2023, towards evening in Ikorodu, in a land that they said belonged to him. And when his burial was going on, which everyone thought was a rush, people did not even have time to attend. But it so turned out that this man, Mohbad's father, actually had the idea, even had planned to bury Mohbad midnight of the same day he died. That is midnight on the 12th of September, barely 8 hours after this young man was said to have died from an unknown and undisclosed cause.
And I'm saying it in English again. The father of this guy, Mohbad, called me. I don't know the time. I don't know that this is what is going to happen. Called me at night, telling me that Mohbad is dead. I felt so bad. I felt so sorry, because I didn't know that boy. It's only the father that I knew. I've never met him before. I know that he's very, very charitable. He gave him money. When he gave his father card, the father celebrated it. I don't know him. I even praying for him. Now, suddenly, the father said that they are bringing him to bury. They are bringing him. They want to bury him at that night. That I should assemble, I should get shovels, diggers, in order to bury him. And I said that this is not possible, man. It's not possible. Don't do that. I'm a community leader. How can you come and say that you want to bury your son at that time?
The mathematics a lot of people are doing right now is judging the circumstances that led to his death and the controversy surrounding him being buried so quickly. He was injected and he collapsed, and his own father was thinking of burying him barely 6 hours later. And this has made people suspect that maybe the injection given to Mohbad was to keep him unconscious so that he would be buried alive. Was that what his father was trying to do? Was his father taking a chance? Was he trying to quickly rush this boy to be buried so that he would not have the chance to get up from the injection? What are the possibilities that Mohbad is not in his grave right now, struggling to crawl out? And they made it so incredibly uncomfortable and impossible for him that even if he was to wake up in his grave with his neck bent, it won't be long before he eventually doesn't get to wake up again. Where the whole world is trying to hold the people suspected to have a hand in this boy's destruction responsible, Mr. Joseph Aloba is out there defending the suspects. Everybody's holding Naira Marley accountable for the role he played in destroying this boy's life. Everybody's holding Sammy Larry responsible. Some people are even calling out the nurse. There are people even dragging the wife and saying she knows way more. Talking about doing DNA testing for the child, suspecting she did something to him because he found out that the child was not his. Everybody right now is a suspect. And guess what Mohbad's father is doing? He's going around defending everybody. How can a man whose son died in an unusual circumstance open his mouth and say the people everyone is suspecting is not the one who did it? Then who did it, sir? Since you know everything, since you got your degrees and you are so intelligent that you know who did it and who did not do it. An investigation has not been carried out. People are basing their suspicion on the fact that your son, while he was alive, complained that these people were after his life with evidence. And you stand there on the grave of your dead child to say that those people did not do anything, that those people did not kill him. He even went on to say that his son was stubborn, that Naira Marley was only showing seniority, that Naira Marley was only trying to correct him. Your son is dead, and the one person your son accused of wanting to take his life is who you're defending, is who you're standing up for, is who you're out there making campaign and trying to clear his name. Even if Naira Marley himself has not even spoken up for himself to clear his own name, you are the one doing his job for him. Not to add the accusation that people are making that Naira Marley is the one behind Mohbad being buried quickly, that Naira Marley is the one who threatened Mohbad's father, that Naira Marley is the one who is most likely paying Mohbad's father to hurry up with the burial. And in an interview, it was said that Davido sent this man 2 million naira. And when this man was asked how he used the money, he claimed he used the money to buy caskets and he used the money for burial expenses, which is very tricky because from what we are hearing, Davido only sent the money on the 13th. But this man actually had plans to bury his son on the midnight of 12th of September. So which meant that the casket that you're claiming you used Davido's money to buy, you had already bought it. And the burial expenses that you used Davido's money for, you already had plans for that. So who sponsored that initial burial that you were going to do at midnight? Because we know it's not Davido's money. Because that one was said to have come on the 13th, the next day. So which meant that for this man to have plans to bury his son on that same day midnight, he had already done the casket, he had already prepared for the burial, and he already paid, probably had money for the grave diggers and everyone who was going to get involved. So the burial for Mohbad had already been planned. So this man is most likely lying when he claimed it was the 2 million naira that Davido sent him that he used to buy the casket and for the burial, because that one came the next day and you had plans the day before. So who sponsored that? Because with the way this man is defending Sammy Larry and Naira Marley, it is making people believe that Naira Marley has a hold on him.